It's August the 28th in 2014 in the Davis County Museum. We're in the kitchen here with Ken Graber and Doug and Joe Burke in the background. We're looking at the Coke machine here in the 1930s, and it was broke for a while, but here we got the fan running again, and it is keeping these Cokes very cold. Here, Doug, grab a hold of that. How cold is that, Doug?
Real cold.
That's very cold. So it's working. These are not the original bottles. These are 8-ounce bottles, but original bottles, we have some of those, were 6.5-ounce bottles, and they sold for $0.10 on this machine. We have those available here for sale for $1, and you get to keep the Coke bottle as a souvenir. This is a soda water bottle that we have in the museum, and that's a collectible. We have several collectible bottles here in the museum. Of course, the Coke bottle, this was from Washington, Indiana bottle. Oh, that's pretty cool. The Coke bottle was invented in Terre Haute. The Grahams, they invented a machine in the 1910 period, around 1915, to put a cap on the bottle automatically, and that saved a lot of trouble and time. So you come into the museum, you can enjoy a Coke. I did have this machine working correctly so that you could put a dime in and it would dispense the Coke, but that's gone by the wayside. It took me about 3 or 4 hours to do that, and I've never taken the time to do it again. So I was told that they used to open this up and take the cap off and put a cup underneath it, like right here, and then empty the bottle out so that it would right there probably, and you could empty that out and get the Coke out in a cup. And some devious people used to do that. I never did that. I was just told about it the other day, probably by a devious person. So this is a Coke machine that's here at the museum, and it wasn't working. Now it is. Bumgardner fixed that fan blade, and now it's back to working again. Works like a charm. I wish all of the old new machines would work that well, Joe Burke.
I wish we had a pop machine in here.
Yeah, well, we have a refrigerator full of pop, and we sell those here too. So the kitchen here was built about 1950 and was added on to the building. And what's coming up? Anything coming up?
Yeah, the Wine and Cheese Festival.
The Wine and Cheese Festival is tomorrow night. Here we're going to stay open late into the evening for the crowd. Hopefully it'll be downtown at the Wine and Cheese Festival. So we've got tabletop day coming up a week from Saturday. And have lots of games. What's going to be featured on that, Ken?
We're doing Gateway Games in September the 6th, so we'll be doing a lot of games that are easier to get into. We're doing Ticket to Ride, Biblios, King of Tokyo, Castle Panics, King, things like that. Zombie Dice will be in there too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Joe Burke will be doing Candyland. Is that right?
No.
You're not going to do Candyland?
No.
All right. Okay, so that's all we got for today, and Joe says see you later.